Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into Frank and his complicated family dynamics. Alone in the waiting room, it's like he's waging an invisible war with his father. While the bus may have left long ago, his watch was 2 hours slow, a time traveler. Thankfully, with the help of staff, Frank hopped on a passing truck, fitting right into a late-night rescue mission. He met a young homeless man and, trying to help, unintentionally revealed human nature's dark side. It was his first taste of human complexity in over 70 years, and he ended up cleaning up the mess literally. Without a prescription, he couldn't find the meds anywhere else, so he had to call his wife for a lifeline. In this lonely time, his wife's voice became a universal remedy, healing his inner wounds. Frank, exhausted and weary, gulped down the meds and fell asleep like a baby. The next day, his daughter Lucy awaited him at the exit like a celebrity, complete with a luxury car talk about a red carpet treatment. On the ride, she regaled him with tales of her grand performances, almost like promoting a concert. She lived in a posh city centre apartment and had prepared a super cozy room for Frank. Just as he was to take his dad to the 66th floor restaurant, a friend's sudden visit broke the peace. The friend rushed in, said urgent, begged Lucy to babysit. What a twist. Lucy happily agreed, and Frank couldn't help but feel joy watching the kids, stepping up like a true champ. Lucy watched her dad busy with a smile, knowing he truly wanted to join in the fun of the family. Meanwhile, Frank went to his room to take his medication, but the phone kept ringing incessantly as if in a recurring dream. What a headache it was. Realizing he was adding stress for Lucy, he quietly scrapped the fancy restaurant plan. They took care of the kids while enjoying a simple dinner, a heartwarming family reunion in their own right. To save face for Lucy, Frank avoided any mention of the phone drama and claimed he needed to leave tomorrow for more meds. Though Lucy wanted to convince him to stay, he firmly declined to avoid creating more trouble. Before leaving, Frank handed Lucy a letter, but this time didn't ask if she was happy. After a few days with the kids, he already knew the answer. He'd take a flight back home ASAP since he ran out of meds. Of course, the plane hit some turbulence through storm clouds, making him feel like he was on an unfortunate journey. He tried to wake up with cold water in the restroom, only for the flight attendant to burst in talk about a comedy of errors. Finally, he fainted from breathing trouble, waking up in a hospital bed. What a farce. It seemed the family reunited at last, but still no sign of eldest son David. What a bittersweet moment. Amy noticed her father's sadness but was abruptly interrupted by Frank. What an emotional tug-of-war. The kids loved keeping the bad news under wraps, but he certainly didn't want David's troubles to go unhidden. Finally, Amy revealed the truth. David hadn't been doing well these years, breaking Frank's heart. The tragedy of David, compounded by their mother's passing, left him utterly heartbroken. Sadly, David's overdose added a dark cloud over an already desperate situation. Frank was crushed by the news. All his hopes crumbled like a house of cards. Late at night, amidst the storm, he dreamt of David bidding him farewell, a haunting image. David, choking, said sorry in his dream, and Frank realized he expected too much of his kids. This sorrowful situation was actually closely tied to his method of raising his children. David, please don't go. Half a month had elapsed, and Frank had fully recovered and was released from the hospital. However, his letter was returned with only one heartbreaking sentence. David, can we get together for Christmas this time? Sadly, it turned into an everlasting regret for Frank. With a heavy heart, he visited his wife's grave, pouring out his myriad thoughts to her. He realized he had many shortcomings in parenting and hoped to improve communication with his kids. If he could turn back time, he'd just want his kids to grow up happy and free. He looked forward to a future where they could forge their own paths without his interference. Not long after, Frank returned to that familiar gallery, filled with anticipation. He hoped to cherish one of David's paintings, preserving his son's memory in this world. But the owner told him all of David's works were gone, so he left his contact details instead. Just as he was about to leave, the owner dashed out, realizing Frank was David's father. The subtitle owner promised to inform Frank right away if any of David's paintings showed up again.